Welcome to Book Navigator, where we unlock the secrets to a truly fulfilling life. Listen closely. If you're a woman sensing a deep, unnamed emptiness despite a picture-perfect home, loving family and endless chores, you're not alone. This is the feminine mystique, the toxic lie that your only purpose is to serve as wife and mother, stifling your dreams and crushing your spirit. Betty Friedan's groundbreaking book exposes this trap, urging you to reclaim your identity, pursue your passions, and live with real purpose. Break free now. Your true self is waiting. Let's begin this transformative journey together. Chapter 1. The Problem That Has No Name. Listen up right now in this moment. You're about to uncover a truth that's been buried for too long. Picture it, a quiet suburban street. Houses lined up like perfect little boxes, each one hiding a secret ache. Inside, women stir coffee in spotless kitchens, fold laundry in sunlit rooms, chase after kids with smiles plastered on their faces. But deep down, there's an emptiness, a gnawing void that no amount of comfort can fill. That's the problem that has no name. Betty Friedan nails it in The Feminine Mystique. Society shoves women into boxes, telling them fulfillment comes only from being wives and mothers. Nothing else. No dreams. No ambitions. Just domestic bliss. But it's a lie. And you feel it, don't you? That quiet despair creeping in when the house is silent. You are not crazy. This emptiness is real. Say it with me. You're not crazy. This emptiness is real. Friedan heard it from women across America. Housewives whispering to their doctors, "I feel empty. What's wrong with me?" Friends sharing over tea. "I have everything, a home, a family, but something's missing." These aren't made-up tales. They're real stories from the 1950s and 60s, when women were sold the dream of the perfect life. One woman, a mother of 4, breaks down in her doctor's office, tears streaming, admitting she cries alone at night. Another, with a beautiful house and loving husband, stares out the window, wondering why her days feel like fog. Friedan argues, this stems from the push, the relentless societal shove to find all your worth in home and hearth. It's not about laziness. It's about denial. You deny your deeper needs and the pain builds. That's the key. You have a choice. Stop ignoring it. Recognize this hidden pain. Right now, pause and ask yourself, do I feel that vague unrest? That sense that life should be more? If yes, own it. You don't need permission from society, your husband, or your friends to admit it. Transformation starts here. Stop pretending everything's fine. Start journaling those feelings. Write down the moments when the emptiness hits hardest, maybe while scrubbing the floor or tucking in the kids. That's your first step to breaking free. Now dive deeper. Feel the weight of the era that trapped so many. In the 1950s, birth rates exploded. Women married younger, dropping out of school, tying the knot at 18 or 19. Culture screamed, happiness is in babies and kitchens. Magazines, ads, TV shows, all pounding the message. Be the devoted mom. Cook the perfect meal. Keep the home shining. But Friedan exposes the fallout. Middle-class women, educated and capable, battled unexplained fatigue. They'd collapse on the couch, exhausted not from work, but from the soul-sucking routine. Tears came unbidden over nothing. One example, a woman in her 30s, with 3 kids and a supportive spouse, tells her therapist, "I feel like I'm dying inside." Another, from a suburban enclave, admits to popping pills just to get through the day. Friedan stresses, ignoring that inner voice demanding more, it leads to deeper misery, depression, anxiety, broken families. Listen to that inner voice demanding more. Repeat it. Listen to that inner voice demanding more. It's not whining, it's your spirit fighting back. Society insists you should be content with diapers and dinners. But that's the trap. It's not about being ungrateful for your family. It's about balance. You crave purpose beyond the walls of your home. That's the key. Transformation demands action. Stop silencing that voice. Next time it whispers, maybe during a quiet afternoon, grab a notebook. List what excites you outside motherhood. A job, a hobby, education. You have a choice. Pursue it. Don't wait for approval. Start small. Read a book on a topic that lights you up. Enroll in a class. That's how you build momentum. Feel the isolation now. It's heavy, isn't it? Like a fog wrapping around you, making every day blur into the next. Women suffered alone back then, convinced their dissatisfaction was a personal failure. I'm a bad wife, they'd think. A selfish mother. But Friedan counters with hard evidence. Magazines like Ladies, Home Journal dismiss these feelings as housewife's blight. Just a phase. Nothing serious. Experts, mostly men, waved it off. Adjust to your role. Psychologists prescribed sedatives instead of solutions. Real tales pour out in Friedan's research, women in therapy for unnamed woes, describing a strange stirring they couldn't pinpoint. One patient, a former teacher turned homemaker, sobs, "I love my kids, but I feel like I've vanished." Another, from group sessions, shares how she hides her tears from her family, fearing judgment. Name the problem, face the mystique. Say it loud. Name the problem, face the mystique. That's empowerment. Friedan empowers you to label your discontent. It's not you, it's the feminine mystique. That cultural fog telling women their only role is domestic. Stop suffering in silence. Transformation means speaking up. Share with a trusted friend. I feel empty sometimes. Do you? Join a group. Online forums today or women's circles. You don't need their permission to seek help. Therapy isn't weakness. It's strength. Challenge the experts in your life who dismiss your feelings. Say, "This is real for me." That's the key. By naming it, you start healing. The isolation lifts. Connection builds. But here's the tough love. If you keep ignoring this, the misery compounds. Families suffer. Kids sense your unrest. Husbands feel the distance. Friedan warns. The problem festers, turning into resentment, affairs, or breakdowns. You have a choice. Choose growth. Stop the cycle today. Commit to one daily act of self-recognition. Meditate on your dreams for 5 minutes. That's discipline. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. You've faced the problem that has no name. You've named it, felt its weight, and heard the call to listen deeper. This emptiness isn't your fault. It's society's lie. The feminine mystique stealing your fire. Break it, reclaim your voice. That's the foundation of true fulfillment. Now let's expose the myth makers who sold you this dream. Chapter 2, The Happy Housewife Heroine. Stop scrolling. Put down that magazine. Right now, imagine it. Glossy pages flipping under your fingers. Each one bursting with images of beaming women in aprons, cradling babies or stirring pots with ecstatic smiles. This is the happy housewife heroine, the myth peddled by media to every woman in America. Betty Friedan rips it apart in The Feminine Mystique. The press, the ads, the stories, they craft the feminine mystique, glorifying the homemaker while shaming any woman who dares chase a career. It's manipulation, pure and simple. Friedan knows it firsthand. As a freelance writer, she pitched tales of strong, independent women balancing work and life. Male editors shot them down. Women don't want that, they'd say. Give us the devoted wife. But you feel the pull, don't you? That subtle guilt when you dream beyond the kitchen. Don't believe the happy facade, it's a trap. Repeat it. Don't believe the happy facade, it's a trap. Friedan uncovers how media builds this cage. Stories of housewives finding bliss in vacuuming and PTA meetings. Career women, portrayed as cold, lonely wrecks. One real example. A 1950s ladies' home journal piece where a doctor warns ambitious girls they'll end up spinsters, bitter and alone. Another, McCall's magazine running endless features on the joys of homemaking, ignoring the boredom underneath. Friedan argues this glorification isn't innocent. It's a tool to keep women small, satisfied with scraps. You have a choice. Stop buying the lie. Transformation starts with suspicion. Next time you see an ad with a glowing mom selling detergent, pause. Ask, is this real joy or a sales pitch? That's the key. Ditch the magazines that feed this myth. Swap them for books on history or science. Fuel your mind, not your doubts. Now sense the shift. It's stark. Win back to the 1930s. Magazine heroines were bold, women juggling jobs, adventures, even romance on their terms. They were pilots, reporters, explorers. Fast forward to the 1950s, poof, they're gone. Replaced by tales of fulfilled homemakers, content with ironing shirts and baking pies. Friedan calls it brainwashing. Culture flipped the script after the war, pushing women back home to make room for men. Examples hit hard. In the 30s, a story might show a woman thriving as a lawyer, her family cheering her on. By the 50s, articles slammed such women as masculine, unhappy without a man to serve. One piece in Harper's Bazaar painted career moms as neglectful monsters, their kids doomed to delinquency. Friedan emphasizes, this keeps you in your comfort zone, afraid to step out. It's not about hating home life. It's about options. Break the media spell. Seek your own story. Say it with force. Break the media spell. Seek your own story. That's empowerment. Friedan urges you to see the change for what it is, a deliberate erase of women's potential. You don't need their permission to rewrite your narrative. Start today. Transformation demands action. Audit your media diet. What shows do you watch? What feeds do you scroll? If they're crammed with perfect moms and shamed bosses, cut them. Replace with podcasts on trailblazing women. Amelia Earhart. Marie Curie. Feel that rhythm, direct, unyielding. Journal your own story. Write. Today, I choose adventure over ads. That's the key. Build habits that honor your depth. Volunteer for a cause. Take a night class. Watch the spell shatter as your energy surges. Hear it now. The repetitive drum. Boom, boom, boom. Ads and stories pounding domestic bliss into your brain. Be the heart of the home. Find ecstasy in everyday chores. Friedan exposes the ignore, the blatant disregard for your deeper needs. Cravings for purpose, growth, impact. Buried under layers of cultural noise. Contrast the eras. 1930s content celebrated. Women's multifaceted lives. Work. Love, society. 1950s. Narrowed to nursery and nest. One stark example. Red books shift from empowering profiles to how to please your man guides. Another. Good. Housekeeping articles claiming housework is a creative outlet, while sidelining real creativity like art or writing. Friedan drives home. This push starves your soul, leaving you questioning why happiness feels fake. You deserve more than this illusion. Echo it. You deserve more than this illusion. It's not fluff, it's fact. Friedan reinforces that media's drumbeat drowns your inner voice, the one begging for meaning. Stop letting it. You have a choice. Question your habits. When that ad pops up promising joy and a new mop, laugh it off. Say no. Transformation is behavioral. Unplug from the noise. Set a timer, 30 minutes a day without screens. Use it to reflect. What needs am I ignoring? That's the key. Build retention by repeating affirmations. I am more than this role. Push yourself. Network with working women. Hear their stories. Feel the illusion fade as real fulfillment emerges. Tough love time. If you keep swallowing this media myth, you'll stay stuck. Comfort zones become cages. Dreams die quiet deaths. Friedan warns, the happy housewife is a heroine only in fiction. In reality, she's hollow. You have a choice. Choose truth. Stop the passive consumption. Start active creation. Own your narrative. You've shattered the happy housewife facade. Seen the media's trap, the shift that stole your heroes, the drumbeat ignoring your needs. This is the feminine mystique in action. Selling illusions to chain your spirit. Reject it. Claim your story. That's the path to real power. Now let's dig into what this myth does to your core self. Chapter 3. The Crisis in Woman's Identity. Wake up. Look in the mirror. Who do you see? A wife, a mother, or something more? A woman with fire, dreams, untapped power. This is the crisis in woman's identity. The heart of Betty Friedan's The Feminine Mystique. Young. Women abandon their dreams for early marriage, tying knots before they even know themselves. Friedan argues the mystique erodes your core self, chaining your worth to biology and family alone. No room for growth, no space for ambition. She shares her own raw story, quitting psychology studies, diving into motherhood, only to feel lost. I thought this was it, she admits, but it wasn't. You feel that confusion too, don't you? That pull to conform, to shrink. Find your true self beyond the roles. Say it now. Find your true self beyond the roles. Friedan drives this home. The mystique whispers that your identity ends at the altar or crib. But that's the lie. Real examples flood her pages. Girls in their teens, ditching school for rings, convinced society demands it. One woman, fresh from high school, marries at 18, has babies by 20, and by 30 wonders, who am I without them? Friedan ties it back. Society pushes women to define themselves through others, husbands, kids, while men forge identities in work, challenges, achievements. You have a choice. Stop the erosion. Transformation demands clarity. Right now, list your roles. Wife, mom, cook. Then ask, what else? Dig deep, journal it. Beyond these, I am... Fill the blank. That's the key. Don't wait for permission. Reclaim yourself, one honest word at a time. Picture it now. College campus is buzzing, but girls dropping out like flies. They fear education makes them unmarriageable. Too smart. Too independent. Too unfeminine. Friedan paints the scene vividly. Dorm rooms emptying mid-semester. Brides-to-be packing bags, dreams left behind. Surveys from the era scream the truth. Women terrified of standing alone. Convinced spinsterhood awaits the ambitious. One poll shows 80% of co-eds prioritizing marriage over careers, admitting dread of being labeled career woman. Friedan stresses the double standard. Men build strong selves through jobs, risks, triumphs. Women, stuck in relational webs, identities borrowed, not owned. It's not about rejecting family. It's about balance. Feel that empathetic pull. Slow down. Breathe it in. Your crisis isn't failure. It's a signal. Embrace the crisis. It's your path to freedom. Repeat it. Embrace the crisis. It's your path to freedom. Friedan flips the script. This turmoil is your wake-up call, not a curse. Examples hit close. A former student, now a housewife, confesses in a letter to Friedan, I majored in art, but now I just arrange flowers. Who am I? Another survey reveals college women avoiding tough majors, opting for Mrs. degrees instead. Friedan argues men thrive by facing identity through action. Careers shape them. Women wilt, denied that forge. You don't need their permission to change. Start behavioral shifts. Enroll in that online course you've eyed. Read biographies of women who broke molds. Eleanor Roosevelt, Simone de Beauvoir. Feel the rhythm. Direct, unyielding. Transformation is doing, not wishing. Set a habit. Weekly, challenge one fear. Call it Identity Hour. Time just for you. No roles attached. That's the key. Freedom follows. Sense the inner turmoil now. It's churning, isn't it? Like a storm inside. Passions buried under laundry piles and lunchboxes. Women lose touch with what lights them up. Art, science. Writing, regretting lost ambitions years later. Friedan shares anecdotes that sting. A housewife in her 40s, once a promising journalist, stares at old clippings, tears falling. I could have been something, she whispers. Another, a talented musician, dusts her piano, admitting to Friedan, motherhood swallowed me, whole. This identity crisis fuels the unnamed problem, the emptiness from chapter 1. It's the Mystique's poison. Convincing you biology trumps brains. Family overrides fulfillment. Society cheers it, but you pay the price. Drained energy, faded spark. Ask yourself, who am I really? Echo it loud. Ask yourself, who am I really? Friedan drives this repetitive call to confront your drains. It's not fluff, it's fuel for change. Real tales reinforce women in group therapy, sharing regrets over shelved careers, realizing the crisis started young. One example, a survey of 200 housewives, most admitting they never thought about themselves until the kids grew. Friedan argues this loss powers the Mystique's grip, sapping your vitality. You have a choice. Stop the drain. Transformation means action. Daily meditate on that question. 5 minutes, no distractions. List passions you've ignored. Painting? Volunteering? Chase one. Sign up for a workshop. Build energy by honoring your core. It's not about selfishness. It's about wholeness. That's the key. Face the turmoil. Emerge stronger. Tough love hits. Ignore this crisis and it consumes you. Regrets pile up. Energy vanishes. Families feel the void. A hollow mom can't give fully. Friedan warns, the Mystique thrives on your silence. You have a choice. Speak, act, rebuild. You've navigated the crisis in woman's identity. Felt the confusion, the dropouts, the lost passions, all eroding your true self under the feminine Mystique's weight. Embrace it as your turning point. Find yourself beyond the roles. That's the spark for real change. Now, let's honor the women who fought before you. Chapter 4. The Passionate Journey. Step back. Breathe in the smoke of rallies, the roar of crowds demanding change. This is the passionate journey, the fire of early feminists who shattered chains for all women. Betty Friedan honors them in The Feminine Mystique, arguing these weren't bitter spinsters, as the Mystique sneers. They were heroes, expanding human freedoms far beyond the kitchen door. Walk through history with them. Suffragettes marching arm in arm, linking women's votes to ending slavery, to justice for everyone. Elizabeth Cady Stanton at Seneca Falls in 1848, declaring women's rights as human rights. Susan B. Anthony arrested for voting, unbowed. Friedan flips the script. These women fought not just for themselves, but for humanity's growth. But you know the twist. The Mystique paints them as unhappy crones to scare you silent. Feel that pull? That whisper to stay small? Honor the journey. Claim your rights. Say it strong. Honor the journey. Claim your rights. Friedan drives this truth. These pioneers weren't embittered. They burned with purpose. Real stories prove it. Abolitionist feminists like Sojourner Truth. A former slave thundering, "Ain't I a woman?" at conventions, weaving women's plight with racial freedom. Lucretia Mott, Quaker firebrand, organizing anti-slavery societies while pushing for women's education. Friedan argues their heroism broadened life's horizons. Votes, property rights, divorce laws. All victories the Mystique now mocks to keep you passive. You have a choice. Stop swallowing the distortion. Transformation starts with pride. Right now, research one feminist hero. Google Stanton or Truth, read their words. Feel the fire? Journal it. What right am I claiming today? That's the key. Honor them by acting. Vote in every election. Speak up in meetings. Don't shrink. Feel it now, the passion surging like a wave. 19th century women demanding education, work, equality. No more domestic destiny, they roared. Picture the grit. Young girls barred from schools. Women sneaking into lectures disguised as men. Friedan contrasts their battles with today's backsliding after the 19th. Amendment in 1920 gave the vote. Society pushed women back home, erasing the momentum. Key victories shine. Mary Wollstonecraft's 1792. Vindication of the rights of woman. Arguing education frees minds. In America, women factory workers striking for fair pay in the 1830s, linking labor rights to gender. Friedan points out the assumptions they smashed, that women were frail, meant only for home. But post-victory, the Mystique crept in, whispering regression. Sense that authoritative weight. Slow down. Absorb the loss. We've slid backward, marrying younger, dreaming smaller. The fight isn't over. Join the passionate path. Repeat it. The fight isn't over. Join the passionate path. Friedan echoes this call. These women didn't stop at one win. They chained causes together. Education led to jobs, jobs to votes, votes to broader justice. Examples cut deep. The Lowell Mill girls, organizing petitions for shorter hours while educating themselves in secret. Or the Grimke sisters, Southern belles turned abolitionists, facing mobs for speaking publicly as women. Friedan stresses the contrast, their forward march versus our 1950s retreat, where women abandoned college for cradles. You don't need permission to reignite. Start behavioral change. Join a women's group, online or local. Advocate for equal pay at work. Habit build. Weekly, read a feminist text snippet. Feel the path unfold. It's not about rage. It's about resolve. That's the key. Join now. The passion waits. Imagine it vividly. The sensory fire crackling. Torches at night marches. Voices chanting in packed halls. Ink scratching on petitions. Debates raging. Women deserve more. Friedan highlights real stories that inspire. Feminists aiding abolition, like Angelina Grimke marrying across lines, fighting for all oppressed, or Jane Addams founding Hull House in 1889, blending social work with women's rights, proving purpose beyond home. The Mystique distorts this legacy, calling them unfeminine to keep you meek, afraid of the flame. But Friedan argues it's a ploy. Passive women serve the status quo, while passionate ones change worlds. Touch that fire. The sweat of protests, the thrill of breakthroughs. It's sensory, alive, pulling you in slow, deliberate waves. Ignite your own journey now. Echo it. Ignite your own journey now. Friedan reinforces, the Mystique warps history to douse your spark, but you can relight it. Stories drive it home. Victoria Woodhull running for president in 1872. Bold and unapologetic, linking women's suffrage to free love and equality. Or the National Woman's Party picketing the White House in 1917, enduring arrests for the vote. These weren't isolated fights. They aided broader equality, ending child labor, pushing temperance tied to domestic abuse. You have a choice. Stop the passivity. Transformation is ignition. Challenge your comfort zone. Attend a rally, virtual or real. Sign a petition for women's issues. Daily affirmation. I ignite today. That's the key. Feel the heat build. Energy, clarity, purpose. Tough love strikes. Dismiss this journey, and the Mystique wins. You stay chained. History's lessons wasted. Regret festers. Friedan warns. The passionate path is yours to claim or lose forever. You have a choice. Ignite. Fight on. You've walked the passionate journey, honored the heroes, felt their fire, seen the distortions, all battling the feminine Mystique's chill on your spirit. Claim it. Ignite your path. That's the fuel for breaking free. Now let's unmask the thinker who locked women in outdated chains. Chapter 5. The Sexual Solipsism of Sigmund Freud. Pause. Close your eyes. Imagine a dusty Vienna office, cigar smoke curling, a man scribbling theories that would chain women for generations. This is Sigmund Freud's world, the sexual solipsism that Betty Friedan demolishes in The Feminine Mystique. Freud's narrow lens traps women in childlike, passive roles fixated on biology over brains. Penis envy? The idea that girls mourn lacking a male organ, settling for motherhood as compensation? Friedan calls it flawed, sexist garbage, rooted in Victorian biases where women were seen as incomplete men. Freud himself admitted bafflement. What does a woman want? He puzzled in letters. Yet his ideas became gospel, fueling the feminine mystique by reducing you to sexual destiny. Feel that weight? That outdated grip on your potential? Reject Freud's chains. Embrace your full humanity. Say it firm. Reject Freud's chains. Embrace your full humanity. Friedan unpacks the mess. Freud's theories ignore women's real needs for growth, autonomy, purpose. Born in a repressed era, his views mirror society's fear of strong women. Examples sting his case studies, like Dora, where a young woman's ambitions get twisted into hysteria, labeled as sexual repression, or his insistence that mature women find fulfillment only in vaginal orgasms. Tied to motherhood, clitoral pleasure? Immature, he claimed. Friedan argues this solipsism, self-absorbed focus on sex, blinds us to environment. Culture your choices. You have a choice. Stop letting dead ideas define you. Transformation demands rejection. Right now, read a critique. Grab Friedan's book or a summary online. Journal, What Freudian Myth Have I Bought? Burn it metaphorically. That's the key. Embrace your wholeness, mind, body, spirit. No chains. Sense it now, the cold grip tightening. Psychoanalysis in the 1950s, Freud's shadow looming, labeling ambitious women as neurotic freaks. You're unhappy? Must be penis envy, therapists sneered. Friedan exposes how this dismissed the unnamed. Problem from Chapter 1, Women's Unrest Waved. Off as failure to adjust sexually. Influence therapy rooms buzzed with it. Housewives seeking help for emptiness. Only to hear, accept your feminine role. One real example, a woman in analysis, dreaming of a career, gets told her drive is masculine protest. Unhealthy, rebellion against biology. Another, group sessions where moms voicing boredom are pathologized as immature, stuck in oral stages. Friedan stresses this ignores your growth needs, work, creativity, impact, reducing life to sex and reproduction. Feel that chill? It's the mystique's ice freezing your fire. See beyond the sex myth. Repeat it. See beyond the sex myth. Friedan echoes this to shatter the illusion. Freud's focus warps reality, harming women by prioritizing biology over nurture. You don't need permission from old ghosts to evolve. Start behavioral shifts. Audit your beliefs. Do you blame unrest on hormones or nature? Challenge it. Talk to a modern therapist, one who sees environment matters. Habit build daily. Affirm I am more than my body. Read current psych books, ones debunking Freud, like those on humanistic growth. It's direct, repetitive for clarity. See it, own it, change it. Transformation is seeing the myth as myth. Push your mindset. Volunteer, learn a skill. Feel the grip loosen as energy flows. That's the key. Beyond sex lies your true self. Hear the echo now. Freud's influence booming through culture like a bad rerun. Movies, books, ads, all parroting his tune. Women are mysterious. Driven by subconscious sex urges, happy as submissive. Friedan exposes the harm. His biology over environment stance traps you, ignoring how society shapes desires. Draw from his writings. Anatomy is destiny, he declared, dooming women to lesser roles. Critiques pile up. Even contemporaries like Karen Horney called him out for male bias. Arguing envy went both ways. In 1950s America, this echoed in parenting guides blaming moms, frustrations on unresolved, Oedipal complexes, not the mystique. One cultural snapshot, popular mags quoting, Freud to shame working women as unfeminine. Another, bestsellers like, Modern Woman, the Lost Sex, twisting his ideas to push domesticity. Friedan drives home, this focus starves your humanity, breeding guilt over ambitions. Break free from outdated lies. Echo it loud. Break free from outdated lies. Friedan reinforces with urgency. Freud's echo harms by sidelining your needs for achievement. Connection beyond sex. It's mindset poison. You have a choice. Ditch the lies. Transformation means action. Cleanse your influences. Unfollow accounts peddling bioessentialism. Surround with empowering voices. Podcasts on feminist psychology. Daily practice. When doubt creeps. Am I too ambitious? Counter with, that's Freud's ghost. Banish it. Build energy by pursuing one goal weekly, no apologies. It's not about hating history. It's about progress. That's the key. Free yourself. Watch clarity bloom. Tough love lands, cling to Freud's chains and the Mystique tightens. Growth stalls. Potential wastes. Friedan warns. His solipsism is a crutch for stagnation. You have a choice. Break free. Evolve. You've unpacked Freud's sexual solipsism, felt its narrow trap, the cold labels, the cultural echo, all bolstering the feminine mystique's hold on your humanity. Reject it. See beyond. That's the dismantle for real liberation. Now let's expose the experts who froze women in place. Chapter 6. The Functional Freeze, the Feminine Protest, and Margaret Mead. Stop right there. Imagine a world frozen in place, like a machine where every part must stay locked to function. This is the functional freeze, the cold trap of social sciences that Betty Friedan blasts in the feminine mystique. Anthropologists and sociologists treat society like a body, insisting women must stick to domestic roles for balance. Stay home, breed, nurture, or the whole system collapses. Friedan calls it nonsense, critiquing giants like Margaret Mead for pushing sexual roles over real potential. Mead, the trailblazing anthropologist who lived boldly, still wrote books, emphasizing women's biological destiny, motherhood as the ultimate purpose. Despite her own career globe-trotting and writing, she claimed women's fulfillment hinged on sex and babies, unproven ideas that froze generations in place. Feel that chill? It's the mystique's ice halting your growth. Thaw the freeze, pursue your purpose. Say it with me. Thaw the freeze, pursue your purpose. Friedan argues this functionalism isn't science. It's a straitjacket, viewing women as organs in society's body, wombs and hearths, nothing more. Examples cut sharp. In Mead's Sex and Temperament, she explores cultures but circles back to biology trumping all, suggesting women's aggression or ambition disrupts harmony. Another, functionalist sociologists like Talcott, Parsons in the 1950s, preaching expressive roles for women, emotional, support at home, while men handle instrumental work outside. Friedan stresses this harms you, denying needs for independence and achievement. You have a choice. Stop freezing in roles. Transformation starts with pursuit. List your purposes now beyond home. Career, art, activism. Pick one frozen dream and thaw it. Research steps online. Commit to 15 minutes daily. That's the key. Purpose melts the ice. Chase it relentlessly. Feel the protest now. It's rising, isn't it? A quiet rebellion against this limiting view that squeezes women into boxes. Friedan spotlights the feminine protest, women's inner fight against being reduced to functions. Mead's writings, for all their insight, reinforced it. In Male and Female, she argued, women's bodies dictate their paths, ignoring how culture shapes us more than genes. Despite Mead's own life, divorces, fieldwork in Samoa, breaking norms, she peddled unproven claims that upset women's growth, like insisting menstruation and childbirth define identity over intellect. Friedan points out the irony. Mead succeeded by defying her own advice, yet her words bolstered the mystique, making women doubt ambitions as unnatural. Sense that slow burn? The details unfold deliberately, the academic papers stacking up, voices of experts echoing in lectures, women reading and feeling smaller. Protest the mystique. Demand more. Repeat it. Protest the mystique. Demand more. Friedan echoes this to fuel your fire. These ideas aren't facts. They're chains. Examples drive it home. Women in the 1950s, inspired by Mead's adventures but trapped by her conclusions, shelving careers for kids only to regret. One story, a college grad, influenced by functionalist texts, quits her job post-marriage, thinking it's her role, then battles depression. Friedan critiques anthropology's bias, studying primitive societies to justify modern limits, like claiming women's happiness peaks in tribal mothering. You don't need their permission to protest. Start now. Transformation is demand. Voice it. Tell a friend, I'm more than this role. Habit build. Read counter views, feminist, critiques of Mead. Weekly, protest one limit. Apply for a promotion. Ignore expert guilt. Feel the sensory shift. Heart pounding, voice steady. That's the key. Demand unlocks doors. Imagine the trap closing. It's academic. Subtle, like invisible walls in ivory towers sidelining your ambitions. Friedan uses real critiques. Sociology texts treating families as units, where moms must sacrifice for stability, ignoring emotional toll. Anthropology, per Mead, romanticizes sexual differences, men as hunters, women as gatherers, as eternal truths, leading to stagnation. No growth, no change. Just frozen functions. One damning example. Post-war studies claiming women's work outside home causes juvenile delinquency based on shaky functional logic. Another, Mead's influence on education, pushing girls toward feminine studies over rigorous ones. Friedan argues this breeds emotional ice, boredom, resentment, the unnamed problem snowballing. Touch that stagnation, days blending, energy draining, ambitions frosting over in slow, inevitable layers. Unfreeze your life now. Echo it loud. Unfreeze your life now. Friedan reinforces, the trap leads to dead ends, but you can shatter it. Critiques abound, even contemporaries like Ruth Benedict. Mead's mentor hinted at culture's power over biology, but the freeze dominated. You have a choice. Break habits. Transformation means action. Identify your freeze. What function holds you? Home duties? Societal expectations? Thaw with steps. Delegate chores, pursue a passion project. Daily, affirm I unfreeze today. Coach yourself tough. No excuses. Read sociology anew, question everything. Build momentum. Join discussions on women's roles. It's not about chaos. It's about flow. That's the key. Unfreeze and life surges forward. Tough love arrives, stay frozen, and the mystique claims you. Stagnation wins. Potential rots. Friedan warns these sciences aren't saviors. They're saboteurs. You have a choice. Protest. Thaw. Demand. You've thawed the functional freeze. Felt the limiting views, the ironic experts like Mead, the academic traps, all cementing the feminine mystique's hold on your purpose. Unfreeze it. Pursue more. That's the heat for true change. Now let's expose the classrooms that steered women wrong. Chapter 7. The Sex-Directed Educators. Listen closely. Envision a bustling college campus, chalk dust in the air, young women hunched over desks, but not studying physics or literature. No, they're learning family, adjustment and home, economics, classes designed to mold them into perfect wives. This is the sex-directed education Betty Friedan exposes in The Feminine Mystique, a post-war betrayal that dumbs down women, steering them toward marriage over real minds. 2/3 of college girls dropping out to wed. Convinced brains scare off husbands. Friedan argues this isn't progress, it's sabotage, funneling your potential into kitchens instead of careers. Feel that sting? The lost opportunities, the narrowed paths. It's the mystique at work, whispering that education threatens your femininity. Education is your key, don't let it slip. Repeat it. Education is your key, don't let it slip. Friedan hammers this. The system pushes girls away from real knowledge, toward superficial skills like cooking and child-rearing. Examples abound. In the 1950s, universities ramped up functional courses, like bridal planning or interior decorating, while slashing rigorous majors for women. One survey shows enrollment plummeting as girls marry young. Fearing independence makes them undesirable. A dean at a women's college admits pushing adjustment classes to prepare for homemaking, not the world. Friedan stresses the loss. Unchallenged minds wither, breeding the emptiness from earlier chapters. You have a choice. Stop letting it slip. Transformation demands grip. Enroll in that course you've delayed, online, night school, whatever. Read one educational book weekly. Build the habit. Set aside time daily for learning. No excuses. That's the key. Your key unlocks doors society slams shut. Sense the shift now. It's gradual, insidious, like a slow fade from bright ambition to dim routine. Pre-war education challenged women. Tough classes in science, history, philosophy, building strong identities. Post-war, a pivot to easy domestic fluff. Friedan details the fear. Educators worried smart women lost femininity, becoming too assertive, too masculine. Colleges offered marriage and family majors, where girls learned to adjust to roles, not excel. One example, Vassar and Smith, elite schools, introducing programs on child psychology for motherhood, sidelining advanced studies. Another, ads for colleges promising well-rounded wives, not leaders. Friedan emphasizes this retard's maturity. Women graduate half-formed, dependent, ripe for crisis. Feel that sensory drag. The weight of light textbooks. The boredom in lectures on laundry techniques. Pacing slow as forgotten dreams. Choose real growth over sex-directed paths. Say it loud. Choose real growth over sex-directed paths. Friedan echoes this to wake you. The shift isn't neutral. It's a trap, perpetuating the mystique by prioritizing sex roles over self. You don't need permission from outdated systems. Break free. Transformation is choice. Audit your path. Are you in easy routines, avoiding challenge? Switch. Pursue a certification in your passion. Business, tech, arts. Habit form. Challenge one feminine expectation weekly, like speaking up in groups. Direct, tough, no more hiding. Growth builds maturity, energy, clarity. It's not about rejecting home. It's about expanding beyond. That's the key. Choose now. Watch your world widen. Hear the warnings echoing through halls. Too much education makes women unhappy, educators claimed. It unfits them for marriage. Friedan counters with fire. That's the lie. Unchallenged minds breed the real crisis, the unnamed problem, the identity void. Surveys scream it. College women in the 50s reporting anxiety over brains versus beauty, most dropping out by junior year. Trends show marriage ages plummeting, with experts blaming overeducation for spinsterhood. One chilling example, a university president's speeches, warning girls against careerism, pushing them toward early weddings. Another, studies linking educated women's frustrations to neglected domesticity, ignoring how boredom fuels despair. Friedan uses this evidence to flip it. True unhappiness stems from stunted growth, not knowledge. Touch that echo. Voices in auditoriums. Pages turning in biased reports. The slow build of societal pressure. Demand true learning. Build your identity. Repeat it. Demand true learning. Build your identity. Friedan reinforces, the warnings are smoke screens, hiding the mystique's agenda to keep you passive. Demand more. You have a choice. Stop passive habits. Transformation means action. Confront a warning in your life. Maybe family saying, settle down. Counter with learning. Take a workshop. Mentor someone. Daily. Affirm, I demand growth. Coach yourself. Push past comfort zones. Surveys prove it. Women who learn thrive. Crises fade. That's the key. Build identity through knowledge. The mystique crumbles. Tough love. Heed those warnings and you surrender. Potential dies. The mystique wins, chaining you to half-lives. Friedan urges, fight back. Learn fiercely. You have a choice. Demand it. You've exposed the sex-directed educators. Felt the steering, the shift, the false warnings, all dumbing down women under the feminine mystique's veil. Demand your education. Build your growth. That's the reclaim for real power. Now, let's revisit the choices that led us here. Chapter 8. The mistaken choice. Step into the past. Feel the rubble of World War II still settling? The shadow of the atomic bomb looming large. This is post-war America, the era of the mistaken choice, where Betty Friedan, in The Feminine Mystique, reveals how trauma and fear drove women back to the kitchen. Soldiers returned. Society craved normalcy, and women who thrived in factories during the war. Dismissed overnight. No more riveting planes or running offices. Instead, a rush to home comforts. Babies, suburbs, domestic bliss. Friedan argues war horrors and Cold War paranoia pushed this shift, convincing everyone security lay in family bubbles, not public life. But it was a trap, deepening the feminine mystique by shrinking women's worlds. Relive it. The victory parade's fading, the push to conform hitting hard. You sense it now, don't you? That historical pull still echoing today. The choice was mistaken. Reclaim your world. Say it. The choice was mistaken. Reclaim your world. Friedan lays it bare. This wasn't freedom. It was regression. Real examples hit home. Millions of women, like the famous Rosie the Riveter icons, booted from jobs to make way for men. Government posters once begged them to work. Now they shamed them for staying. One story, a wartime welder, proud and skilled, forced into unemployment, then guilted into motherhood. Friedan ties it to broader fears: Hitler's fall, Hiroshima's blast, making Americans cling to private havens. Public life? Too risky in the atomic age. You have a choice. Stop repeating history's mistakes. Transformation demands reclaiming. Identify your own post-war traps, maybe job loss after kids, or societal pressure to prioritize home. List them. Then act. Update your resume, network online. That's the key. Reclaim space in the world beyond your door. No waiting. Feel the discrimination now. It's raw, biting, like a door slammed in your face. Men reclaim jobs en masse, women sidelined with pink slips and propaganda. Friedan exposes the blame game. Media fingered career moms for soldiers. Breakdowns during the war, claiming absent mothers bred weak men. But post-war studies flipped it. Overbearing homemakers, smothering at home caused more harm. The irony stings. Examples pour out, magazines like life-running articles on the problem of the working mother, linking her to juvenile delinquency. Another, employers outright refusing to hire married women, citing family first. Friedan argues this wasn't economics. It was control, pushing women into private traps where purpose evaporated. Sense that descriptive weight. The factory whistles silenced for women. The office desks cleared, the slow slide into isolation. Escape the private trap, seek public purpose. Repeat it, escape the private trap, seek public purpose. Friedan drives this home. The discrimination wasn't random. It served the mystique, confining you to home while men claimed the world. You don't need their permission to escape. Start behavioral change. Audit your life. Are you trapped in private routines, avoiding public roles? Break out. Volunteer for a community board. Join a professional group. Habit build. Weekly. Step into public. One call, one meeting. Feel the tone shift. Direct, unyielding. Purpose isn't in endless chores. It's in impact. Transformation is seeking. Push past fears of unfemininity. Own your skills. That's the key. Public life rebuilds what the trap stole. Energy, identity, fire. Imagine it vividly. The atomic age's frantic escape into family. Mushroom clouds on newsreels. Duck and cover drills in schools. Everyone burrowing into suburban nests. Friedan uses cultural shifts to nail it. Birth rates booming. Suburbs sprawling. TV shows like Father Knows Best, glorifying home as haven. Studies from the time back her. Psychologists noting war trauma made people crave stability, but at women's expense. One key example, the GI Bill funding men's education and homes, while women got nudged toward dependency. Another, polls showing women regretting wartime independence, brainwashed into seeing it as abnormal. Friedan argues this mistaken choice amplified the mystique, promising safety but delivering stagnation, the unnamed problem festering in perfect houses. Correct the mistake, step into your power. Echo it, correct the mistake, step into your power. Friedan reinforces, the escape was illusion. Real security comes from balanced lives, not isolation. Cultural echoes linger. Today's work-life debates, guilt over careers. You have a choice. Correct it now. Transformation means stepping up. Face one historical echo in your world. Maybe family expectations tying you home. Challenge it. Delegate tasks, pursue a side hustle. Daily affirmation. I step into power. Coach tough. No more hiding in safety. Studies show empowered women thrive. Use that. Build mindset. Read war-era women's stories for inspiration. That's the key. Power corrects the past, fueling your future. Tough love time? Cling to this mistaken choice and history repeats. Traps tighten. Purpose slips away. Friedan warns. The post-war pivot wasn't progress. It was loss. You have a choice. Reclaim, escape. Correct. You've relived the mistaken choice. Felt the post-war push, the discrimination, the atomic escape, all deepening the feminine mystique's grip on your world. Correct it. Step into power. That's the mindset for breaking chains. Now, let's uncover how sellers exploit your voids. Chapter 9, The Sexual Cell. Stop buying the lie right now. Picture your kitchen counter, gleaming appliances, endless gadgets, colorful boxes promising joy in every purchase. This is the sexual cell, the slick manipulation. Betty Friedan exposes in The Feminine, Mystique. Advertisers don't just sell products, they sell the feminine mystique itself. They target bored, unfulfilled housewives with disposable income, turning your inner emptiness into profit. Post-war boom made women the chief consumers. 75% of buying power. 75% of ad budgets aimed straight at you. No grand conspiracy, Friedan says, just cold business. Keep you home, keep you shopping, keep the economy humming. Feel that? The subtle hook pulling you deeper into the trap. Don't buy the sell. Find real fulfillment. Say it. Don't buy the sell. Find real fulfillment. Friedan met the manipulators, high-paid, experts hired by manufacturers to study your dissatisfaction and exploit it. One told her straight, they profile you. The true housewife type, the career woman, the balanced homemaker. Then craft ads to flatter and trap. Housewives get sold as professionals, intelligent, creative, independent, needing specialized tools for expert work. A baking mix ad? Not just cake, it's your creative outlet, your mastery. But delicate balance. Make you feel professional enough to buy more gadgets. Not independent enough to get a job and stop shopping. You have a choice. Stop falling for it. Transformation starts with awareness. Next shopping trip, pause. Ask, does this fix my boredom or feed it? Journal the urge. I want this because that's the key. Reject the sell. Seek meaning outside purchases. Sense the consumer trap closing. It's quiet, insidious, like a warm blanket that slowly suffocates. Suburban homes become prisons of stuff. Women with time and money but no purpose buy to fill voids. Advertisers know your dissatisfaction is gold. They study your psychology, boredom, guilt, craving creativity, and twist it. One manipulator bragged, ads must give you a feeling of creativeness without letting you leave home. Examples hit hard. Vacuum cleaners sold as high-tech tools for professional cleaning. Cosmetics as erotic necessities. Even food processors pitched as ways to express artistry. Friedan argues this keeps you dependent. More time shopping, less pursuing real work. Careers would cut consumption. The economy can't risk that. Feel that sensory pull. The thrill of a new appliance fading fast, leaving the same emptiness. See through the ads. Choose meaningful work. Repeat it. See through the ads. Choose meaningful work. Friedan echoes this urgently. The sexual cell deludes you about real needs, promising fulfillment in products while starving your soul. You don't need permission from Madison Avenue to break free. Start action. Transformation is behavioral. Cleanse your habits. Limit shopping to necessities. When ads flash, counter with, this isn't my answer. Replace buying with doing, volunteer. Learn a skill, start a side project. Habit build. Weekly, skip one impulse buy. Use the time for growth. Direct, repetitive. See it, reject it, redirect energy. It's not about poverty. It's about power. That's the key. Meaningful work fills voids products never touch. Hear the pitch now, relentless, seductive. You're a pro! Express yourself. Be creative at home. Friedan draws from insider talks. Manipulators admit studying your unrest to boost sales. One example, a cake mix campaign. Add and egg yourself for creative control, turning drudgery into achievement. Another, ads elevating housework to science, special cleaners, gadgets galore, making you feel expert while chaining you longer. Friedan stresses the cycle. Buy to feel alive, buy more. When it fails, repeat. Husbands feel it too, escaping demanding wives seeking elsewhere. The cell perpetuates the mystique, turning potential into profit. Break the cycle, build your own value. Echo it. Break the cycle, build your own value. Friedan reinforces, these ads aren't harmless. They deepen dissatisfaction, keep you passive. You have a choice. Stop the loop. Transformation demands discipline. Confront one cell today, unsubscribe from tempting emails. Affirm daily, my value isn't in stuff. Coach yourself tough. Pursue purpose over possessions. Read about women who broke free. See their energy soar. Build retention. Track how less buying frees time for real joy. That's the key. Value comes from within, not from shelves. Tough love. Keep buying the sexual cell, and the mystique owns you. Emptiness grows. Potential wastes on gadgets. Friedan warns, advertisers aren't your friends. They're exploiters. You have a choice. See through. Break free. Build real value. You've uncovered the sexual cell, felt the manipulation, the profiles, the cycle, all propping up the feminine mystique by turning your voids into sales. See through it. Choose meaningful work. That's the shift toward liberation. Now let's see how Housewifery stretches to fill empty days. Chapter 10. Housewifery expands to fill the time available. Look around your home. Everything shines. Floors spotless. Laundry folded. Meals planned days ahead. Yet the days drag. Endless. Heavy. Somehow never enough. This is the great expansion Betty Friedan unmasks in The Feminine Mystique. Housewifery stretches to fill whatever time is available. It's not that housework is endless by nature. It's that boredom, guilt, and the need to feel indispensable make women stretch simple tasks into full-time occupations. The feminine mystique convinces you this is your profession, your worth. But Friedan proves otherwise. Real interviews with housewives reveal the truth. They admit to overcomplicating chores, dragging them out, inventing work to fill the void. Feel that? The slow creep of time, the clock mocking you with hours left unfilled. Shrink the tasks. Expand your life. Say it now. Shrink the tasks. Expand your life. Friedan argues housework isn't inherently time-consuming or fulfilling enough to occupy a grown woman's entire day. Yet it balloons. One woman tells her, "I can make cleaning the kitchen take all morning if I want." Another, "I'd polish silver I never use, just to have something to do." Friedan stresses the pattern. Women subconsciously sabotage efficiency to stay busy, to prove they're needed. You have a choice. Stop the expansion. Transformation begins with ruthless efficiency. Time yourself next chore. Clean the kitchen in 30 minutes flat. No lingering. No perfectionism. Then use the saved hour for something that matters. You. Read, exercise, plan a career step. That's the key. Shrink the tasks deliberately. Watch how life opens up. Feel the subconscious sabotage now. It's quiet. Almost invisible. Like a habit you don't notice until it's pointed out. Women fear the moment chores end. What then? Emptiness stares back. So they stretch, rewash already clean windows. Rearrange drawers endlessly. Invent elaborate meal prep for simple dinners. Friedan shares raw confessions. A mother of 3 admits, "If I finish early, I feel useless. So I slow down." Another, "I dust shelves twice a day. It's something." This isn't laziness. It's survival. The mystique whispers, if you're not constantly working at home, you're failing as a woman. Sense that weight? The sensory drag of repetitive motions, the clock ticking louder. The mind numbing itself with busyness to avoid the deeper question. What else could I be doing? You're needed beyond the home. Repeat it. You're needed beyond the home. Friedan drives this home. The sabotage keeps you occupied but unfulfilled. It protects the illusion that housewifery is a full profession. You don't need permission to stop. Start behavioral change. Identify one stretched task today. The laundry ritual that takes hours? Cut it in half. Delegate where possible. Then redirect. Use the freed time to explore a passion. Write, study, network. Habit build, set a strict timer for chores. When it rings, stop. No extensions. Feel the shift. Energy returning, mind clearing. It's direct. It's tough. Transformation is refusing to let tasks own your day. That's the key. You're needed. By the world, by your dreams, by your true self. Imagine the boredom behind the busyness. It's thick, suffocating, like fog settling over a perfectly tidy house. Friedan counters the equality myth. Women claim they're equal partners because they work as hard at home, but evidence shows otherwise. Husbands' jobs have defined hours. Purpose, recognition. Housework? Elastic, invisible, endless by design. Studies Friedan cites, housewives averaging far more hours than necessary, yet reporting chronic dissatisfaction. One example, a woman spends 3 hours shopping for groceries. She could buy in 1, lingering, comparing, filling time. Another, ironing shirts with obsessive care, turning routine into ritual. Friedan argues this expansion masks the crisis. The unnamed problem grows in the gaps between tasks. Fill time with purpose, not just chores. Echo it. Fill time with purpose, not just chores. Friedan reinforces, the busyness is a symptom, not a solution. Purpose shrinks the expansion naturally. You have a choice. Stop filling voids with fluff. Transformation demands discipline. Replace one stretched chore with a purposeful act. Instead of extra cleaning, take a course. Instead of elaborate cooking, learn a skill. Daily practice. Morning plan, schedule chores tight, then block time for growth. Affirm, my time belongs to my purpose. Coach yourself, no guilt for efficiency. Women who compress housework thrive. Energy surges, clarity sharpens. That's the key. Purpose contracts the tasks. Life expands. Tough love. Let housewifery keep expanding, and the mystique wins. Days blur into years of busyness without meaning. Potential starves. Friedan warns, you're not indispensable because of endless chores. You're indispensable because of who you can become. You have a choice. Shrink, redirect, fill with purpose. You've exposed how housewifery expands to fill empty time. Felt the sabotage, the boredom, the myth of endless necessity, all reinforcing the feminine, mystique's grip on your hours. Shrink the tasks. Fill time with purpose. That's the reclaim of your most valuable resource, time itself. Now, let's confront how unfulfilled women turn sex into a false escape. Chapter 11. The Sex Seekers. Stop pretending. Right now. Feel the bedroom lights low, the sheets tangled. The desperate search for something, anything, to make the emptiness go away. This is the Sex Seekers chapter. The raw truth Betty Friedan lays bare in The Feminine Mystique. Housewives, trapped in endless chores and child-rearing, turn to sex as the last refuge for meaning. They chase orgasms, demand more intimacy, obsess over pleasure because what else is left? The mystique sold you that sex, marriage, and motherhood equal total fulfillment. But Friedan exposes the lie. Sex cannot carry the full weight of a woman's identity. When it tries, marriages crack. Women grow frustrated. Husbands pull away. Affairs explode. Feel that mismatch? The frantic hunt for a spark that never lasts. Sex isn't enough. Seek deeper meaning. Say it loud. Sex isn't enough. Seek deeper meaning. Friedan drives this home. When housework and kids can't fill your soul, sex becomes the substitute. Women interviewed by Friedan gave sexual answers to simple questions about their days. What do you do? Led to talks of bedroom performance. One housewife confessed, sex is the only thing that makes me feel alive. But it's false fuel. The cultural obsession, magazines, books, Kinsey reports, pushed sex as the ultimate high. Yet Friedan argues it backfires. Unfulfilled women demand constant gratification, turning intimacy into a game of control. Husbands feel used, like tools for validation. Wives feel empty when the high fades. You have a choice. Stop chasing sex as salvation. Transformation starts with honesty. Journal tonight. What am I really seeking in intimacy? Name the deeper need. Purpose, recognition, growth. That's the key. Redirect that energy. Pursue a passion outside the bedroom. Watch the desperation fade. Sense the mismatch now. It's painful, straining, like a rubber band stretched too far. Wives become sex seekers, pushing husbands harder, more often, more intensely. Friedan shares therapy stories. Women reporting frigidity, not from physical issues, but emotional starvation. They crave connection, but the mystique limits them to bodies. One example, a wife obsessed with orgasms, timing them, rating them, driving her husband to exhaustion. He resents her dependency. She feels rejected when he withdraws. The result, affairs. Women seek outside what home denies, emotional depth, validation. Friedan cites cases. A mother leaving 5 kids for a lover, returning broken in months. Another, wives confessing, extramarital flings as the only way to feel seen. The overemphasis on sex harms everyone. Marriages, strain, trust erodes. Feel that sensory drain. The tension in quiet nights. The arguments over frequency, the slow alienation. Balance your needs, grow together. Repeat it, balance your needs, grow together. Friedan echoes this urgently. The mystique's narrow focus on sex as fulfillment creates imbalance. Women aren't oversexed. They're underfulfilled in every other area. You don't need permission to expand. Start action. Transformation is balance. Talk openly with your partner. Not just about sex, but dreams, ambitions, voids. Habit build, weekly, share one non-sexual goal. Pursue it together or alone. Direct, tough. No more using sex as a crutch. Build intimacy through shared purpose. Volunteer as a couple. Take a class. Energy shifts. Connection deepens without pressure. That's the key. Balance heals what sex alone breaks. Hear the warnings now. Clear, urgent. Kinsey's data showed rising sexual interest among women. But Friedan flips it. It's not liberation. It's compensation. Empty lives breed obsession. Husbands escape to work, bars, other women. Marriages become battlegrounds. Friedan uses real tales. Women in group therapy admitting affairs stemmed from boredom, not lust. One wife. I thought more sex would fix everything. It made it worse. Another. Frigidity masking rage at a stunted life. The Mystique promises erotic bliss in domestic roles, but delivers disillusionment. Touch that cycle. The buildup of expectation. The crash of reality. The quiet resentment growing. Step out of the sex trap. Echo it. Step out of the sex trap. Friedan reinforces, the secret path deepens the unnamed problem. Sex as escape leads to more emptiness, not less. You have a choice. Stop the obsession. Transformation demands discipline. Confront the trap. When the urge hits to fix things with intimacy, pause, redirect, affirm daily. I seek meaning beyond the body. Coach yourself. Pursue growth. Read, create. Connect outside home. Women who break the cycle report healthier marriages. Real satisfaction. That's the key. Step out. True connection follows. Tough love. Keep seeking in sex alone and the mystique destroys you. Marriages crumble. Self-respect erodes. Friedan warns, this false path is a symptom of deeper starvation. You have a choice. Seek deeper, grow, balance. You've confronted the sex seekers, felt the obsession, the mismatch, the affairs, all born from the feminine. Mystique's promise that sex completes you. Step out of the trap. Seek deeper meaning. That's the balance for real intimacy. Now, let's face the darkest outcome, the dehumanization spreading to your family. Chapter 12. Progressive Dehumanization. The Comfortable Concentration Camp. Face it head on. Picture the perfect suburban home, manicured lawn, shiny station wagon, kids in crisp clothes. Inside, a slow invisible erosion. This is progressive dehumanization, the chilling outcome Betty Friedan describes in The Feminine Mystique. The feminine mystique doesn't just trap women, it spreads like poison, dehumanizing mothers and then their children. Women, stripped of adult identity, become passive shadows. They live through their kids, vicariously, obsessively, stunting their growth. The result? Listless, bored children performing life without passion. Friedan calls the home a comfortable concentration camp. Not literal. Gas chambers, but a psychological trap where comforts kill the human spirit. Feel that? The soft cage closing day by day. Escape the camp. Revive your zest. Say it now. Escape the camp. Revive your zest. Friedan draws a shocking parallel to Nazi concentration camps, citing psychoanalyst Bruno Bettelheim, a survivor. Prisoners entered cut off from adult interests, work, ideas, purpose. They regressed to basic needs, food, survival, fading sexuality. They lost identity, became childlike, passive. Friedan argues the suburban housewife follows the same path. Cut off from growth, she adjusts to biology and chores. She becomes dependent, anonymous, a docile mass. No gas chambers, she admits. But the dehumanization is real. Sense of emptiness, non-existence. You have a choice. Stop adjusting. Transformation demands revival. Identify your regression. Are you living only for kids, husband, home? List adult interests buried. Reading, career, activism. Revive one today, spend 30 minutes on it, no interruptions. That's the key. Zest returns when you reclaim your humanity. Feel the passivity spreading now. It's frightening, like watching fog roll over vibrant kids. Friedan observes American children, soft, bored, going through motions without fire. They do sports, homework, play dates, but with dead eyes. No real interest, no spark. Why? Mothers, unfulfilled, seek identity through them. Vicarious living, doing homework for them. Pushing daughters into early sexuality. Overprotecting sons. Psychiatrist Andras Angyal calls it. Non-commitment, a mothers avoid their own emptiness by merging with kids. One example, a mom reliving youth through her daughter's dating. Another, smothering a son, fearing independence. Friedan warns this spreads. Boys become passive, girls lose autonomy. The cycle deepens. Dehumanized moms produce dehumanized kids. Sense that sensory chill. Quiet homes, forced smiles, energy drained into endless togetherness without growth. Dehumanization stops with you. Repeat it, dehumanization stops with you. Friedan echoes this urgently. The mystique's trap doesn't stay contained. It creeps to family. Women suffer physically too. Overweight from inactivity, underweight from beauty pressure, irregular periods from stress, rising suicides among perfect housewives. But the real horror? Kids inherit the void. They grow soft, directionless, performing but not living. You don't need permission to stop it. Start action. Transformation is breaking the merge. Give kids space. Let them fail. Explore alone. Pursue your own identity fiercely. Habit build daily. Do one thing just for you. Affirm, I am a separate human. Feel the shift. Kids gain independence. You gain life. It's direct. It's tough. That's the key. Stop the spread. Revive the family. Imagine the listless families now. Suburban camps, comfortable, safe, deadly dull. Kids in front of TVs, moms hovering, no one truly alive. Friedan paints it vividly. Passivity in every activity. School, play, even rebellion feels scripted. One study, children showing frightening boredom, going through motions without emotional depth. Another, mothers projecting unmet needs, turning sons into extensions, daughters into mini-me's. The comfortable concentration camp provides food, shelter, gadgets, but strips purpose. Touch that slow death. The hum of appliances, the tick of clocks, the quiet surrender to routine. No torture, but the soul withers just the same. Rehumanize your life, pursue independence. Echo it. Rehumanize your life, pursue independence. Friedan reinforces, the trap is comfortable, but escape is possible. Independence revives you, frees your kids. You have a choice. Stop vicarious living. Transformation demands pursuit. Confront one projection today. Stop doing your child's task. Guide instead. Affirm daily, my life is mine. Theirs is theirs. Coach tough. No more merging. Women who reclaim selves report kids blooming, curious, resilient. That's the key. Rehumanize. Watch vitality return. Tough love. Stay in this camp and dehumanization wins. You fade. Your children fade. The mystique claims generations. Friedan warns. The comfortable trap is deadlier than it looks. You have a choice. Escape. Revive. Rehumanize. You faced progressive dehumanization. Felt the passivity, the vicarious living. The camp analogy, all the feminine mystique's ultimate poison, spreading from mother to child. Escape it. Revive your zest. That's the break for family freedom. Now let's climb toward true self-actualization. Chapter 13, The Forfeited Self. Climb the ladder. Right now. Visualize it. A pyramid of needs. Base wide and basic. Food, shelter, safety. Rising to the peak where true humanity lives. Self-actualization. This is Abraham Maslow's hierarchy, the framework Betty Friedan wields like a hammer in the feminine mystique to smash the feminine mystique. Men climb freely, work, challenges, purpose, reaching the top, becoming who they can be. Women, trapped at the bottom, stuck in physiological needs, identity tied to sex, motherhood, biology alone. The mystique forbids the climb. It demands adjustment to home, surrender of self. You forfeit your highest potential. Feel that loss? The peak forever out of reach, energy sapped at the base. Don't forfeit yourself, reach higher. Say it strong. Don't forfeit yourself, reach higher. Friedan argues this is the core crisis. Psychologists like Maslow studied healthy humans, autonomous, self-accepting, without guilt, committed to growth. Normal means becoming your best, serving a purpose larger than yourself. Love, acceptance, cultural fit? Not enough. You need risk, commitment to the future. The mystique blocks it for women. Housewifery offers substitutes, kids, spotless homes, but no real self-esteem, no accomplishment. Examples sting, women in therapy, describing lives of deadly dailiness, no forward motion. One admits, I have no sense of who I am beyond wife and mother. Friedan stresses women's needs. Mirror men's purpose through work, growth beyond biology. You have a choice. Stop forfeiting. Transformation demands the climb. Identify your base level trap. Endless domestic loops? List them. Then step up one rung. Enroll in a course. Seek meaningful work. Journal. What larger purpose calls me? That's the key. Reach higher. Watch the pyramid open. Sense the trap tightening. It's subtle, seductive, like a soft blanket that weighs you down. Maslow's research from the 1930s shows high dominance. Women, confident, capable, low in shyness, enjoy fuller lives, better sex, outward focus. Low dominance, inferiority, timidity, self-consciousness. Society labels high dominance masculine, low feminine, but Friedan flips it. The mystique enforces low dominance, chaining women to passivity. Kinsey data confirms. Educated, self-actualized women enjoy sex more, not less. Yet the mystique insists fulfillment comes from sexual roles alone. Women forfeit autonomy for adjustment. Feel that sensory drag, days blending, identity blurring, guilt over ambitions creeping in slow, heavy waves. Actualize now, embrace your full potential. Repeat it. Actualize now, embrace your full potential. Friedan echoes this call. The forfeited self stems from evading freedom, fearing growth. Healthy people commit to life, shape the future through effort beyond home walls. Frontier women did it, building, risking, growing. Modern women, denied. The mystique promises happiness in surrender but delivers emptiness. You don't need permission to climb. Start behavioral shifts. Audit your life. Are you stuck in physiological mode? Eating, cleaning, reproducing? Redirect. Pursue work that challenges you. Habit build, daily. Do one act toward self-actualization. Read on a passion, network, create. Affirm, I climb today. Feel the energy. Clarity sharpens. Zest returns. It's direct. It's tough. Transformation is commitment. That's the key. Actualize. The forfeited self revives. Hear the psychological truth ringing clear. Maslow and others agree. Innate drive pushes humans toward excellence. Adjustment alone breeds stagnation. Women, forced into sexual passivity and maternal love, lose the capacity to shape tomorrow. Friedan cites studies. Self-actualized people love strengthens individuality, not fusion. Honest, intimate, outward-focused. The mystique? Abdication of selfhood. Women pay with guilt, boredom, regret. One example, a housewife, once ambitious, now numb. I gave up my dreams for the role, and now there's nothing left. Friedan warns, the effects of this forfeiture, unstudied then, but obvious. Depression, physical ailments, the problem that has no name exploding. Claim your autonomy, live fully. Echo it loud. Claim your autonomy, live fully. Friedan reinforces, the mystique is anti-human, denying your capacity for growth. You have a choice. Stop forfeiting. Transformation demands assertion. Confront one forfeit today. Shelved dream, revive it. Affirm daily, my potential is mine. Coach yourself, no more evasion. Women who climb report wholeness. Stronger marriages, vibrant kids, real joy. That's the key. Autonomy fuels the climb. Fullness follows. Tough love. Forfeit yourself and the mystique claims victory. Growth halts. Life shrinks to basics. Friedan warns, this is the ultimate theft. Your human potential stolen. You have a choice. Claim it. Actualize, live. You've climbed to the forfeited self. Felt the trap at the base. Maslow's ladder denied. The loss of autonomy. All the feminine mystique's final barrier to your peak. Don't forfeit. Reach higher. That's the ascent to true humanity. Now let's build the new path forward. Chapter 14. A New Life Plan for Women. Stand up, right now. The time for excuses is over. You've named the problem. Shattered the myths. Exposed the traps. Felt the freeze, the forfeiture, the dehumanization. Now comes the action. The blueprint to break free forever. This is Chapter 14. A New Life Plan for Women. The powerful finale of Betty Friedan's The Feminine. Mystique. Friedan doesn't leave you, hanging in despair. She hands you the tools. Ask the hardest question. What do I want to do? And build a life that answers it. No more hiding in housework. No more settling for scraps of fulfillment from marriage and motherhood alone. Meaningful work, rigorous education, full commitment to your potential. That's the path. Feel the shift? The fog lifting. The pyramid opening. Your climb begins here. Envision it clearly. By the early 1960s, women were done adjusting, done popping pills, done living vicariously through kids. They searched for identity, and Friedan shows real women who found it. Case studies pour in. A mother in her 30s, after years on the analyst's couch, finally asks, "What do I want?" She returns to college, pursues nursing, balances family, and thrives for the first time. Another, a former teacher turned homemaker, picks up her brushes again, paints seriously, sells her work. She reports, "I enjoy being a woman now because I'm whole." These aren't superwomen. They're ordinary. They faced fears, resistance, guilt, but they moved. Friedan stresses. The journey differs for each woman. No one size fits all. But the destination? Self-actualization. Purpose beyond biology. You have a choice. Stop waiting for permission. Transformation starts with that single question. Write it down today. What do I truly want? No filters. No, but I have kids. Raw honesty. That's the key. Ask it daily until the answer burns clear. The first step hits hard. See housework for what it is, not a career. Not your identity. A series of chores to keep reasonable order. Do them fast, efficiently, no stretching, no perfectionism. Friedan repeats, shrink the tasks. One woman in her examples timed her cleaning, cut it from all day to 2 hours. Free time? She studied law. Another delegated to kids and husband. No guilt. The mystique lies. If you're not constantly busy at home, you're failing. Reject it. Feel that relief? The clock no longer owns you. Transformation demands efficiency. Set timers. Delegate. Use saved hours for growth. Habit build. Morning routine. Chores first. Strict limits, then block time for your plan. Direct. Unyielding. No more expansion. That's the key. Housework serves life. It doesn't define it. Next pillar stands tall. Stop the false choice. You don't have to pick marriage or career. That's the mistaken choice, the post-war trap. Friedan argues men balance both. Women can too. Husbands aren't your identity source. They're partners, equals. Real examples shine. Women who pursued demanding jobs, teaching, writing, medicine, while raising families. They fought resistance. You'll neglect the kids. You'll lose your femininity. They pushed through. One mother returned to graduate school, faced family pushback, but her kids gained a vibrant role model. Marriages strengthened with mutual respect. You don't need approval. Start small. Pursue work equal to your capacity, not busy work. Not time killers. Meaningful. Challenging. That engages your full mind. Feel the energy? Purpose flows. Transformation is commitment. Network. Apply. Affirm daily. I can have both. Coach tough. No settling. That's the key. Balance isn't sacrifice. It's wholeness. Education anchors it all. Rigorous. Lifelong. Full. Friedan. Calls for incentives, like a GI Bill for women, to fund higher learning. She surveys her own Smith College class. Those who pursued serious education post-marriage reported deeper satisfaction. Better marriages, healthier kids. Those who didn't? The emptiness lingered. Examples flood. A woman in her 40s enrolls in night classes, earns a degree, launches a career. She overcomes guilt, fear of too late. Another balances part-time study with toddlers. No shortcuts, real degrees, real skills. Feel that fire? The mind sharpening, the future opening. You have a choice. Stop half measures. Transformation demands rigor. Enroll today, online, community college, whatever fits. Commit long-term. Habit build. Study block every day. Affirm education is my emancipation. That's the key. Knowledge frees you from the mystique's chains. Overcome the conflicts. They come. Internal fears. I'm selfish. Too old. What if I fail? External resistance. Family, society. The old voice saying, adjust. Friedan offers proof. Women who faced these head-on. One quit a safe job for passion. Battled doubt. Emerged stronger. Another told her husband, I need this. For us. He resisted, then supported. They grew together. Push through. Feel the pushback? Lean in. Transformation is grit. Daily practice. When fear hits, counter with evidence. Real women's stories. Affirm, I overcome today. That's the key. Conflicts aren't stop signs. They're tests. Commit to the future. Shape it. Through work. Through learning. Through full humanity. Friedan ends with hope. Every woman who breaks free makes it easier for the next. The mystique crumbles one step at a time. You've built the new life plan. Asked the question. Shrunk the chores. Rejected the false choice. Pursued education and meaningful work. Overcome the fears. This is the end of the feminine mystique and the beginning of your true life. Your challenge, right this moment, grab that pen, write, what do I want? And take one concrete step today. Enroll, apply, delegate, commit, don't wait. Your freedom, your purpose, yourself, it's waiting. Subscribe to Book Navigator for more life-changing truths. Break free. Live fully. Now, you've journeyed through the feminine mystique with Book Navigator, exposing the lie that chains women to home and family alone, robbing you of identity, purpose, and growth. The problem that has no name is real, fueled by media, Freud, educators, ads, and history. turning vibrant lives into passive traps, dehumanizing you and your children, forfeiting your true self for a myth that promises fulfillment but delivers emptiness, boredom, and regret. Break it now. Reject the mystique, pursue education, seek meaningful work outside the home. Face the fears, balance your roles, and actualize your potential like the heroes before you. Your challenge, right this moment, grab a pen, ask, what do I truly want? And take one step today toward that new life plan. Don't wait, your freedom starts now. Subscribe to Book Navigator for more life-changing insights.